So October 21st, 2005, that's when I first launched Product Launch Formula. And like anytime you roll out a brand new product, it was exciting, it was nervous, but long story short, it did really, really well. We sold 600 units. I was completely, or almost completely unknown at that point. And then to come out with a launch for a high ticket product and sell 600 units in a week's time frame was absolutely awesome. So that was fantastic. So that was October. And then March of 2006, I went out, I made my first public appearance. I went to a big conference. It was the Underground Online. It was the second ever Underground Online conference. It was like the biggest conference there was back then. And I went there. And so, little sidebar, 2005, 2006 is a little bit different. Social media really wasn't a thing. So it wasn't like I was out there and people were seeing me interact. And this was my first public appearance after that launch. And I remember walking down into the lobby like the night before the conference started, and there was hundreds of people sort of milling about, networking and talking, and some of them, catching up old times. And as I walked in there, I sort of had this feeling of, I'm going to meet a bunch of people that paid me a lot of money for Product Launch Formula. Back then it was $1,000 for Product Launch Formula. And I'm going to meet a lot of people, and I hope they like the product. I hope are they gonna like run up to me and say that was a complete scam? I believed in my product. I knew it was going to do good, but you just never know. It's the first real feedback I was going to get because, like I said, it wasn't like I was getting feedback on social media or anything like that. So I actually had this little sense of trepidation as I walked into this conference area, or it was a big lobby area, and I was like, what's this going to be like? Are they going to love me or not? And so I walked in there, and before I walked 15 feet in the lobby, someone walked up to me and they told me an incredible story about their launch. And then I went another 5 or 10 feet, and another person came up and he told me how he had done a launch to buy the engagement ring for his wife, and he was now engaged. And I got story after story as I walked. And I have to tell you, it was one of the most gratifying things ever, because I put all this effort into the product, and I was like, are they going to love me? And they loved me. And it was interesting because back then you weren't watching. I don't even know if I had a cell phone then, but if I did, there wasn't a camera on the cell phone, and there certainly wasn't a video camera. It wasn't like everyone was walking around with a video camera. But I was actually at that conference. I was on my way to go to a spring break with my kids and my wife, and I happened to bring a camcorder, an old-fashioned camcorder, if you remember what those are, or if you knew what they were. And I happened to have my camcorder because I wanted to be able to shoot video of my kids on the beach in Florida on our vacation. So after about the third or fourth person, I said, oh, hold on for a sec, just stay right there, don't move. And then I ran up to my room, I ran back down, and I said, can you just say that, what you just said, say that to me again? And I just shot this really quick and dirty video. I mean, it was loud because there's all these people in that room, and I'd never shot a video like that before, and no one really published video at that time. I mean, putting out video online was really fairly difficult at that point, but I'm like, I just want to capture this. And when I left that conference, I think it was 5 or 6, maybe it was 7 different videos. And they were essentially case study videos because they were talking about their launches and how they did their launches in all these different markets, some of the markets I'd never even heard of before. And that was the start. That was the start of doing case studies. And I think I was really the early torchbearer. Lots of people are doing it now, but I think I was the first person to ever do that. And that was how I marketed Product Launch Formula for years. In fact, it's how I still market product. I mean, when I look at the way Product Launch Formula, I've sold tens of millions of dollars of it now. We've done really well. I have thousands and thousands and thousands of students who've had amazing success. But the way I sell it is through 2 ways. It's through case studies, and it's through my launches where I deliver a lot of value, and then I open up registration. And so ever since then, it's been I've done dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of case studies in every kind of launch and every kind of market, and it's awesome. So, like I told you last week, I'm heading into my launch. I've got my launch coming up next month in September. We start September 12th is when the launch starts. It's when my launch masterclass starts. And so right now, I'm in the mode of gathering even more case studies. So for the next few weeks, we're going to be gathering case studies. I'm going to do like a call for case studies. In fact, you might have noticed I sent out an email a couple days ago. It was a call for case studies. And I'm going to basically shoot a bunch more case studies to use just within this launch. And it's one of my favorite things to do, is just sharing the success that my students, my clients have. It's just a blast because they all have such radically different launches and radically different businesses and radically different markets for radically different products. I love to share it. I never get sick of it. I mean, it's like a big ego boost for me because I get to hear about how the amazing work they've done because of my work and the amazing impact they've made because of the impact of my work. So I absolutely love it. So as I'm going through this, the two things I got to remember is, first, if you've got a PLF success story, whether it's from watching my free stuff or going through my product launch formula coaching program or from reading my book, whatever, I would love to hear from you. I'll put a link down below this video and you can click on over. If you've got a story you want to tell about your launch, it'll just take you over to a quick survey that my team and I will go through all of them and pick out the ones we want to highlight during the launch. But I guarantee you one thing is I'm going to be going through all of them personally. So if you want to tell me your story, it's just going to be a quick little survey. So I'd love to feature you. So if you got a success story, click on that link down below. And second, I want you to save the dates because what I'm calling my launch is really my launch masterclass. So I'm going to be teaching 4 sessions, and that's just the start of it. We've got all kinds of other goodies within that launch, but here, this is the official save the date. Our first one is September 12th. So it's going to be a live training. I'm going to be teaching probably nearly 3 hours of live training on how to do your launch. This one's going to be sort of about the big picture, not the big picture, but the overall launch strategy that has been working since 2005, and it's going to be updated for this year. So September 12th is that first broadcast. It'll be at, I think, 4 p.m. Eastern time, but just block off September 12th Eastern US time. The second one is going to be about September 16th, is going to be about the primary types of launches, because there's different ways to launch that fit for different situation. So definitely put that one down. It's going to be at the same time. Again, I think it's 4 p.m. Eastern, but just stay tuned. September 16th. The third one is sort of the map, the overall map of the launch territory and your launch. So that one's going to be awesome. September 19th, and then September 23rd. September 23rd is going to be the open cart strategy. So once you actually open up your launch and you start taking orders, I'm going to cover that. It's going to be awesome. And those live broadcasts are just going to be part of it. We're going to have downloads all the way through. I'm going to have my coaches in answering questions. I'm going to be doing videos in between. I'm going to be live in between. Last time when we did this, at the end of this thing, when we delivered 14 hours of free training, we had people trying to buy the free training. Of course, that's when I opened up registration for Product Launch Formula. People were trying to buy the free training. So what I'm saying is save the date. The value that I'm going to deliver just from this free stuff is absolutely going to be off the charts. So put those dates down in your calendar, plan for them. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be the Launch Masterclass. So that's what we got for you. If you want to be one of my case studies, there's going to be a link down below here. Click that link, head on over, fill out the survey, and save those dates for our Launch Masterclass. And let's go get them this week.